Have you ever walked into your kitchen and then paused, unsure why you went there in the first place? You look around. Was it to make tea? To grab your reading glasses? But then the thought slips away like steam off a window pane. It's a strange kind of forgetfulness, not the kind that frightens you immediately, but the kind that lingers quietly, making you second-guess yourself more and more often. Maybe you've noticed that names take a little longer to come to mind, or that your crossword puzzles don't get finished as quickly as they used to. The memories are still there, but they take their time showing up. Mildred, a 68-year-old retired elementary school teacher in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, described it best. She said, "It's like my thoughts are just behind a fogged-up window. I know what I want to say or do, but it doesn't come to me until 5 minutes later." She wasn't in any pain. She wasn't sick, but she could feel something shifting. And here's the thing, Mildred is not alone. Millions of older adults experience these subtle changes in thinking, memory, and focus. The good news: in many cases, it's not about disease, it's about nourishment. You see, our brains don't just run on thoughts. They run on fuel, on structure, on the very foods we eat. And what many people don't realize is that the brain and the heart are deeply connected. When you feed one, you help the other. When you ignore one, the other suffers too. So in today's video, we're not just talking about how to improve memory. We're talking about how to feed your brain and protect your heart at the same time. These aren't expensive supplements or complicated routines. They're everyday foods available in most American grocery stores backed by science from trusted institutions like the Mayo Clinic and Harvard Health. We'll break down 4 powerful foods, how they work, who they help, and how you can start using them today. Especially the last one, which has stunned researchers and seniors alike. Ready to get started? Let me introduce myself and then we'll dive in. Before we dive into the 4 foods that can transform your brain and heart, let me introduce myself properly. My name is Dr. Thomas Avery. I'm a board-certified family physician based in Asheville, North Carolina, and for the last 3 decades, I've helped adults navigate the changing seasons of their health, especially after 60. Over the years, I've come to believe that the most powerful medicine often isn't found in a bottle. It's found in your refrigerator, or your garden, or that little corner of the grocery store you always walk past. Here at Golden Health, this channel is your companion, your trusted guide, and sometimes just a reassuring voice reminding you that better health doesn't have to be complicated. I want this to be a space where you can feel informed, supported, and encouraged to take small steps that lead to big change. I also believe in learning together. So if you found a trick that helps you stay mentally sharp or a food that's made a difference in your heart health, I'd love to hear about it. Tell me in the comments, what's something you've added to your daily routine that's made you feel more alert or energized? And if this is your first time here, welcome. You're in good company. Now that we've had a proper hello, let's talk about why what we eat after 60 matters more than ever, especially when it comes to memory clarity and keeping your heart strong. As we age, most of us expect a few changes: gray hair, maybe a slower step, a little more time getting up from the couch. But what many don't realize is that some of the most important changes happen quietly inside the body, where we can't see or feel them until they start affecting how we think and remember. Here's something few people talk about: your brain and your heart are deeply connected. In fact, your brain depends entirely on your heart to work well. Even though the brain makes up only about 2% of your body weight, it uses nearly 20% of your body's oxygen and energy, most of which is delivered through your bloodstream. So what happens when the heart weakens, or when blood vessels become stiff or narrowed with age? The brain suffers. Blood flow slows. Memory begins to slip. Thinking becomes foggier. And it's not because the brain isn't trying, it's because it isn't getting what it needs. According to the CDC, more than 70% of adults over 60 in the U.S. have some form of cardiovascular disease, including high blood pressure, atherosclerosis, or poor circulation. And Harvard Health reports that reduced blood flow to the brain is a key contributor to cognitive decline, even in people who don't show obvious signs of memory loss. That's why memory lapses can sometimes be a warning, not just of aging, but of a heart that needs support. The good news: this isn't irreversible. In fact, several studies have shown that improving heart health often leads to better brain performance, more energy, and even a stronger mood. And while there are many ways to support your cardiovascular system, what you eat is one of the easiest and most powerful tools you have. Certain foods help keep blood vessels flexible, reduce inflammation, and improve circulation to both the heart and the brain. That's what we're focusing on today. In just a moment, I'll walk you through 4 foods that don't just taste good, they act like natural fuel for your brain and natural protection for your heart. But first, take a moment. Does any of this sound familiar to you? Have you noticed these changes in yourself or someone you love? If so, stick with me. You're about to learn something that could change the way you eat and the way you feel for the better. Now that we understand why the brain and the heart are so connected, let's talk about what you can actually do about it, starting with what you put on your plate. These 4 foods are backed by American research, trusted by real seniors, and easy to add to your daily routine. They don't require you to change your whole lifestyle just to make better choices one bite at a time. Let's begin with a creamy green favorite that does far more than taste good. 1. Avocados, the creamy fuel for focus. Let's begin with something simple, familiar, and surprisingly powerful: avocados. Meet George, a 71-year-old retired mail carrier from Tucson, Arizona. For over 3 decades, George delivered letters door to door, rarely needing a notepad. He knew the faces, the addresses, even the names of the dogs on each street. But a few months ago, he started noticing something strange. He would walk into the kitchen and forget why. He'd open the mailbox, close it, and wonder if he had already checked it. It wasn't alarming at first, just frustrating. At his daughter's suggestion, George began making a small change to his breakfast. Each morning, he added half an avocado to his toast or scrambled eggs. At first, he didn't notice much, but after about 3 weeks, he called his daughter and said, "You know what? I feel clearer, like I can follow my thoughts again." There's science behind what George felt. Avocados are rich in monounsaturated fats, the heart-healthy kind that also promote better blood flow to the brain. They also contain lutein, a naturally occurring carotenoid that accumulates in the brain and has been shown to support cognitive function, particularly memory and processing speed. A 2017 study conducted at Tufts University found that adults over 50 who consumed 1 avocado a day showed significant improvement in working memory and attention compared to those who didn't. And it's not just about brain power. The same nutrients in avocados help keep arteries flexible and reduce inflammation, which protects both the brain and the heart. Add half an avocado to whole grain toast with a pinch of sea salt and lemon. Mash it into a spread for sandwiches or dice it into a salad with olive oil and tomatoes. It's a smooth, nourishing way to start the day. Look for ripe, dark-skinned avocados at Trader Joe's, Aldi, or your local grocery store. Pro tip: if they're still hard, let them ripen in a paper bag overnight with a banana. If you already enjoy avocados or you're willing to give them a shot, comment "Green Brain" below. Let's see how many of us are building better brains one slice at a time. Now that we've seen what a creamy fruit can do for your focus, let's move to a food that's small mighty and has been misunderstood for far too long. 2 eggs, the forgotten brain food. Let's turn now to a food that many seniors grew up eating, but may have set aside out of caution: eggs. Carolyn is 66 years old and lives just outside Jackson, Mississippi. For most of her adult life, she avoided eggs. In the 1980s and 90s, everything she read warned that eating eggs could raise cholesterol and increase the risk of heart disease. So she switched to cereal, fruit, and toast, nothing with yolks. But about a year ago, after her annual physical, her doctor gently encouraged her to reintroduce 1 egg per day into her diet. He explained that more recent research had shown that for most healthy seniors, moderate egg consumption doesn't harm heart health and may even support brain function. Carolyn was skeptical, but she agreed to give it a try. She began having a soft-boiled egg each morning with spinach and a slice of whole grain toast. Within weeks, she noticed she wasn't as foggy in the mornings. She felt more steady, more alert. It wasn't dramatic, she said, but it felt like my mind stopped drifting. Why the change? Eggs are one of the richest natural sources of choline, a nutrient that helps produce acetylcholine, an important neurotransmitter involved in memory and learning. As we age, our bodies become less efficient at making choline on their own, which makes dietary sources more important. Eggs also provide vitamin B12, which plays a role in brain function and is often low in older adults, especially those over 60. Contrary to old beliefs, 1 egg a day has been shown in recent Harvard studies 2023 to have no significant negative effect on cholesterol in most seniors. In fact, the benefits of brain-boosting nutrients like choline may outweigh any minor dietary cholesterol concerns for many older adults. Try a soft-boiled or poached egg with sautéed greens. Or prepare deviled eggs using plain Greek yogurt instead of mayonnaise for a protein-packed snack. Scrambled eggs with turmeric and vegetables make a great lunch or dinner too. Look for pasture-raised or cage-free eggs at Whole Foods Kroger or your local farmer's market. If you're budget-conscious, Aldi and Costco offer great quality at a lower price. If eggs have been missing from your breakfast plate, type egg in the comments and let me know if you're ready to bring them back. Now that we've cracked the mystery of eggs and memory, let's explore a vegetable that might just surprise you. It's earthy, deep red, and a secret weapon for circulation. 3 beets, the blood flow supercharger. From the breakfast table to the garden, let's talk about a vegetable that many people overlook, but has the power to dramatically improve blood flow to both your brain and heartbeats. Meet Walter, a 79-year-old retired mechanic from Akron, Ohio. Walter always had strong hands and a sharp mind. He could fix an engine by feel and recall every step of a repair from memory. But after he turned 75, he noticed he was getting tired more quickly. He'd forget simple steps like whether he'd already tightened a bolt. And worse, he started feeling lightheaded on his daily walks, sometimes even needing to sit down after just a few blocks. His grandson, who was studying nutrition in college, suggested he try beet juice. Walter wasn't excited. He'd never liked the earthy taste of beets, but he was willing to try anything to feel better. So, for 3 weeks, Walter drank half a cup of beet juice every other morning. To his surprise, not only did he feel more energetic, but he also said his mind felt clearer, like he could track conversations better and think through problems without getting overwhelmed. There's science to back him up. Beets are rich in natural nitrates, which your body converts into nitric oxide. This compound helps relax and widen blood vessels, improving circulation throughout the body, including the brain. Improved blood flow means more oxygen and nutrients reach the parts of the brain responsible for memory, reasoning, and attention. A study from Wake Forest University found that older adults who drank beet juice before light exercise showed increased blood flow to the frontal lobe, the area of the brain involved in decision-making and memory. Participants also performed better on cognitive tasks compared to those who didn't consume the juice, and the benefits aren't limited to juice. Roasted beets, beet salads, and even beet powder can provide the same blood flow boosting effect when eaten regularly. Roast beets with a little olive oil and rosemary for a warm side dish. Toss them cold into a spinach salad with walnuts and feta. Or mix a spoonful of beet powder into your morning smoothie or glass of water. Fresh beets are available at most grocery chains like Safeway, Walmart, or Whole Foods. For convenience, look for vacuum-packed cooked beets or organic beet powder at stores like Sprouts or online retailers. If you're willing to give this earthy superfood a shot, type Red Power in the comments and let us know how you plan to try it. Next, we'll look at a food that not only looks like a brain, but also protects it better than almost anything else in your pantry. 4 walnuts, nature's brain-shaped ally. Our final food might be the most fitting of all. It looks like a brain, and science says it helps protect it too. We're talking about walnuts. Meet Eleanor, a 74-year-old retired librarian living in Sacramento, California. Eleanor used to wind down each evening with a cookie and a cup of tea. It was her little ritual, something sweet to end the day. But her doctor warned her about her rising blood sugar, and her daughter noticed she was starting to repeat herself during conversations. Instead of eliminating her nighttime snack, Eleanor swapped it. She began replacing her cookie with a small handful of walnuts, about an ounce every night. At first, it felt like a dull trade, but a few weeks in, she noticed something. Her sleep got deeper, she felt less mentally scattered during the day, and she stopped searching for words mid-sentence. "It's like my mind isn't stalling anymore," she said. Walnuts aren't just shaped like little brains, they nourish them too. They're the top plant-based source of alpha-linolenic acid, ALA, a form of omega-3 fatty acid that supports brain structure and reduces inflammation. Inflammation in the brain is strongly linked to cognitive decline and memory loss. Walnuts are also packed with polyphenols, which are powerful antioxidants that help protect brain cells from oxidative stress. A 2020 study from UCLA followed older adults who regularly ate walnuts and found they scored better on memory and cognition tests than those who didn't. The difference wasn't huge, but it was real, and it added up over time. The best part, walnuts support the heart as well. They help lower LDL bad cholesterol, improve blood vessel function, and may reduce the risk of cardiovascular events. That means you're helping your brain and heart with one simple snack. Eat a small handful, about 1 oz each day. Add them to oatmeal, sprinkle over yogurt, toss into salads, or use them as a crunchy topping for roasted vegetables. You can even blend them into smoothies or homemade granola. Walnuts are widely available at Costco, Sam's Club, Whole Foods, or any standard grocery store. Choose unsalted raw or lightly roasted varieties for the best benefits. If you're ready to trade cookies for clarity, comment Brain Snack below. Let's make our bedtime ritual one that truly feeds the mind. We've now walked through 4 simple science-backed foods that can do wonders for your memory and your heart. But before you make any changes, especially if you're managing medications or chronic conditions, let's talk safety and how to customize these tips just for you. Now that we've explored 4 powerful foods that can fuel your brain and protect your heart, it's time to pause and talk about something equally important: safety. Every person's body is different. And while these foods are generally safe and beneficial, especially for older adults, there are a few health conditions and medications that may require some adjustments. Let's take a closer look. Beets are rich in natural nitrates, which help lower blood pressure. That's usually a good thing. But if you're already taking blood pressure medication, or if you tend to have low blood pressure, you'll want to be cautious. Too much nitrate from beets could make your blood pressure drop too low, causing dizziness or fatigue. Start small. Try half a serving and see how your body responds. Walnuts are incredibly healthy, but also calorie-dense. Just 1 ounce contains around 180 calories. If you're watching your weight, it's best to measure your portions. Also, if you have a tree nut allergy, of course, you'll want to avoid them entirely. Eggs contain dietary cholesterol, and while current research shows that 1 egg per day is safe for most seniors, those with genetic cholesterol disorders or certain heart conditions should check with their healthcare provider before making eggs a daily habit. Avocados, like walnuts, are high in healthy fats and calories. If you're on a strict calorie reduction plan, be mindful of your serving sizes. Half an avocado is plenty for most people. And here's one more reminder: if you're taking medications like blood thinners, diuretics, or insulin, any change to your diet, especially involving potassium-rich foods like avocados and beets, should be discussed with your doctor. The goal here isn't to scare you, it's to empower you. You deserve to enjoy the benefits of these brain and heart-friendly foods without risking your safety. Want a free printable checklist? We've created a Safe Start food guide for seniors, complete with suggested portions, common interactions, and weekly tracking tips. If you'd like a copy, just type "guide" in the comments and we'll make sure you get access. In just a moment, you'll hear the real voices of people like you, seniors, who made small changes and experienced real results. But first, take a deep breath. You've already taken the first step. Sometimes the best science is the kind you can see in your own life or in the lives of people just like you. Let me introduce you to 2 real viewers of this channel who decided to try these simple changes. Their stories are honest, grounded, and a reminder that small steps can lead to real progress. First, meet Robert M., 68, from Tallahassee, Florida. Robert is a retired construction foreman. For years, he felt like his memory was slipping away, not in big dramatic ways, but in small, frustrating moments. He would lose track of where he left his glasses, forget if he took his morning pills, or blank out on someone's name halfway through a conversation. After watching a video much like this one, Robert made 2 small changes. He added walnuts to his oatmeal each morning and started drinking beet juice 3 times a week. That's it. 3 weeks later, he left a comment that said, "I didn't expect much, but now I'm remembering why I walked into a room. I'm not hunting for my car keys. I just feel clearer, more in control." Now meet Janice L., 73, from Eugene, Oregon. Janice had always been active and social, but after a mild stroke last year, she started struggling with fatigue and brain fog. She said conversations began to feel like puzzles she couldn't quite solve. Her doctor encouraged a better diet, but the recommendations felt overwhelming until she saw a video about avocados and eggs. She started having half an avocado with her lunch and a soft-boiled egg for breakfast. Within a month, she felt her mental energy returning. "It's not magic," she wrote, "but it's movement. I feel like I'm getting back to myself. These aren't miracle cures. They're real people making real decisions. And the beauty of it is they didn't change everything. They just chose to begin. What about you? Did one of these stories remind you of someone you love? If so, share this video with them. Sometimes one simple suggestion from someone they trust is all it takes to get started. And if you've tried any of these changes yourself, even something small, let us know in the comments. You never know who your story might inspire next. Up next, let's bring everything together with one final message, the belief that your best days are still ahead, one healthy habit at a time. Let's take a moment to look back. In this video, we didn't talk about miracle cures or overnight fixes. We talked about small, smart changes, adding avocado to your breakfast, cracking open an egg with purpose, pouring a little beet juice with your lunch, or trading a cookie for a handful of walnuts before bed. Simple steps, ordinary foods. But when chosen with intention, they can become powerful tools to support the two most vital organs in your body, your brain and your heart. If there's one thing I hope you take away from today, it's this: growing older doesn't mean growing weaker. Your clarity, your memory, your independence, they are not gone. They are simply waiting for the right kind of care. And food is one of the most accessible, loving ways to offer that care to yourself. The science is real, the stories are real, and your potential to feel better, sharper, stronger, more connected is real too. So let me ask you, which food from today's video will you try first? Let me know in the comments. I read everyone. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe to Golden Health so you don't miss out on future videos made just for you. And if you know someone who could benefit from even one part of today's message, share it with them. You might be the reason they feel a little clearer, a little stronger, a little more hopeful tomorrow. Did you know that some popular teas might be silently increasing joint pain after age 60? In the next video, we'll reveal the 3 teas to be cautious of and the 2 that can actually soothe your joints while you sleep. Until then, take care of yourself. You're not alone. You're part of a growing community that believes in healthy aging, one smart habit at a time.